Yo, what up guys, decided here with a champion guide or champion spotlight for an epic champion which you have probably forgotten all about. He's found in the Ogre Tribes faction and his name is Grunch Killjoy. This champion looks like a Halloween champion Christmas period time because of the name called Grunch Killjoy, and his design does look like the one you know in the popular movies and all that, the Grinch basically, right? He came into Raid as part of a fusion. I don't know when he came in, but nobody in Raid has really talked much about this champion. We just saw him as a mid champion, used him at that time, and now everybody has moved on. Of course, new champion has been released every day in Raid, so we can't really blame him that he was left behind. What does this champion do in Raid? You just pulled him from a shard. You're thinking, will it be used in one content or the other? In this video, I'm going to break down his skills and show him one or two areas where he might help you in the early game. I say early game because as an end game player, this champion has never featured in any of my teams until today. I've slapped gear on him. I'll show you some masteries that you can put on him, show you his blessings, and then we'll take him to one or two battles and see whether he's helpful or a total trash, which you should never build, book, or anything like that. All right, let's see what this champion brings to Raid. So by understanding his skills, you can tell whether he's going to be useful or not. The first thing when I click that A1 is the amount of books required on an A1 is like, what is happening? We early game players, when we build champions like this, we see the amount of books required to make them useful, and that determines whether that champion will be used or not. And this skill to have 9 books required just to increase the chance of placing block, buff, debuff from a 40% chance to a 65% chance is crazy. It's crazy. This champion is not going to be a damage champion, so don't think all this damage plus 1 will help you in anything. No, this champion right here, it says support, so his multipliers won't be much, or his A1 is not going to just make somebody disappear from the battlefield. No, it's not going to hit hard. So this A1 is just going to boost the chances of placing block, buff, debuff for 1 turn, not even for 2 turns. Well, it's an A1 for 1 turn from a 40% chance to a 65% chance. If I know anything about block, buff, debuff, we don't want it for 1 turn. We also don't want it on just any one enemy alone. We want it AoE. Usually, I'm thinking of the Hydra, I'm thinking of wave content. Anywhere you want this block, buff, debuff, you want it for more than 1 turn, and you want it to be on all the enemies, not just on one of them. But having it on an A1 is not useless. It can be the second champion in a team that is placing it sometimes. The clan boss is also known to place increased attack on himself, and that can also stop some bosses from increasing their attack. Maybe even the hard mode of the dragon who places increased attack on himself. There are areas, niche areas, where this can come in handy with him always using the A1, right? But it's not a reason to bring a champion into a team. So this A1 has just disqualified this champion, not just because it's a debuff that is not that useful as a main source of placing it, but because of the amount of books required to push it from a 40% chance of landing it to a 65% chance. This might be the reason why a lot of people are not using this champion, because of his heavy book requirement. It's not just its A1. Check out the A2. That's also 9 books required. So before I start judging this champion based on his skills, his abilities and all that, the books is already making you not to use or book this champion. Of course, if you have all the epic books in the world, you can slap it on him and then make him useful, right? I have done that in this video. I've put all the books required on him, and we'll see whether he's going to help me or not. This skill will attack all enemies. It has a 50% chance booked up to a 70% chance of landing 1 bomb. 1 bomb. So if we know anything about bomb in Raid, we've tried to make it useful in terms of PvP content, PvE content. There are champions or bosses now that even take more damage from bombs than they used to before. A lot of buffs and rebalances have been done to this bomb debuff, and it's now useful in PvP, I can say that, but this is absolutely not enough to kill any enemy in PvP, so let's just rule that out. 1 bomb is not going to be enough to do anything, not even half, well, maybe half the damage, half the health of the enemy. But this is not a champion you want to build with high attack, because that's what will make your bomb explode for a lot of damage, right? So this is not a champion for high attack, because his other skills is making him look like a healer, a cleanser, which I'll get to the A3 soon. But this skill, placing 1 bomb, is not enough. It's also a low chance. It's a 70% chance. If you don't spend books at all, it will be a 50% chance of landing the bombs. So some enemies will get it. If you're doing wave content, some of the heads will not get it. All right. So that's not all about this skill. It's on a 4-turn cooldown when you spend books. All that books doesn't take it to a 3-turn cooldown of doing this skill. It takes it for a 5-turn cooldown to a 4-turn cooldown. That's also another reason not to even bring this into the team. Because of the high book requirement, and it's going to be for 4 turns. When it does this, he has to wait 3 entire turns before he can use it again. Anyways, let's not judge him first. Let's go to the A3, see if this makes him better. Now, the only reason why I'll bring Grunch Killjoy into any of my teams is for this skill. Removes all debuff from all allies. That's a full team cleanse. Then places 15% continuous heal buff for 1 turn on each ally for every debuff that is removed from them. That's a good skill. So forget about what I said about the A1, forget about what I said about the A2. This is the skill. You see how many books this skill requires? Only 2. So I feel like this champion was a troll because he's like a Grunch Killjoy. So he's here to kill your joy by finishing all your epic skill tome, and you pray when you're spending books on this champion that all your books go towards this A3, because that's all you normally would use him for in any teams. The ability to remove all the debuffs that is on your allies, and if he removes 1 debuff from them, they get 1 continuous heal. If he removes 2 debuffs from them, they get 2 continuous heals. That's amazing. And it's on a 4-turn cooldown when you spend books on it. So that makes it just, it makes up for for all the other skills that it doesn't have. That's not all. This champion also has a passive that will fill the thermometer of all allies by 10% whenever a bomb detonates on an enemy. So if you're lucky enough to get 4 bombs on a wave, then expect your allies to just get 10, 10, 10. That is what, 40% thermometer fill? That's gonna be amazing. I can't wait to test this champion in dungeon content to see how many bombs we can place, and then to see how many thermometer our allies get when the bomb detonates on the enemies. All right, that's not all. He also has an aura with increased ally defense in faction creep. I feel like that's the content that best suits him, especially for the cleansing and then the A2. This champion is best suited for the faction wars. Whenever Raid releases a champion and they give him an aura like this, they're already telling you that, hey, use this champion in arena. Hey, use this champion in all battles. Hey, use this champion in faction creeps. So whenever you look at this champion, you're so disappointed. Remember, they've told you where you are expected to use this champion. Of course, you're free to put him into any other teams that you want to, right? Force him to any other teams that you want to. He can be a perfect cleanser for Doom Tower content, like that boss that is always placing a bunch of buffs, Nether Spider, a bunch of poison on you. Just cleanse it and you're good to go. So that's one content I feel like he's going to help a lot of early game players, because if you don't have a full team cleanser in that early game, it's super hard. Of course, we have Spirit Host, a rare champion who can do it, but he is just going to be better as the healing that he brings along with that skill, right? All right, now that I've finished talking bad about his A1, talking rubbish about his A2, and finally hyping out his A3, I hope we can now decide that this champion, we know where to use him wherever this A3 is required. But as for these other 2 skills, I don't think I'll be looking forward to use it in battle, except the synergy between this A2 and the passive. That's what I want to find out about. So now that you've seen these champion skills, how do I want to build him? How do you want to build a cleanser? How do you want to build somebody who places bombs? You want to build him with accuracy, and you want to build them fast. He needs to be one of the first to go before your allies take a turn, so you can cleanse any debuffs they have on them before they take their turn. So that's how I think it's best to build a champion like this. Since it's going to be used in the early game, I decided not to do any end game build for this video. I just gave him an early game set. Yes, triple speed set, triple perception, triple accuracy set. Those are the only 3 recommended sets I'll tell you to build on this champion. If you're an end game player, you want to use him in end game content, probably go with reflex set, probably go with relentless sets. Those are always optional, or it goes with something like crazy supersonic set. We're not talking about that. This is an early game champion. I would recommend any artifact that makes you go fast, any artifact that gives him enough accuracy to land his bombs or his A1 block buff debuff. So that's all that you require from him. I was looking for speed. I was looking for more speed. I was looking for even more speed, so I didn't focus on crit rate or crit damage. That's what I'm trying to say. I didn't build this champion for damage. Let me know if you've built him for damage and tell me how much he's doing. Even in the glove, I didn't even go crit damage. Normally, you see crit damage on the glove for a damage dealer. I just make him tanky for no reason. So that's my build right here. On the chest, I gave high resistance. There might be content where you don't want him to get debuff because he is the cleanser. Normally, you don't want your cleanser to be stunned, provoke, or whatever. So he has high resistance to make sure he's always available to cleanse and heal than getting stunned or provoked or anything. Also, always speed on the boots, always. And then you want to go with accuracy on the banner, but I went with resistance because I already have enough accuracy coming in from this perception set. I don't need accuracy on the banner. That's why I went with resistance on. I have a lot of resistance on this champion. I hope to use him in endgame content like City of Zentronus, but so far I've not found any use for him there yet. Maybe there's no boss stage that I've required him, or there's no particular soul cross stage that has required him. But I just built him because I got a 5-star perfect soul for him. That's why I decided to build him so far. Else he would have been sitting in my vault for a while. All right, that's my ring, and check out no crit damage also on the amulet at all. No damage at all. So speaking about my blessing, I went with chain breaker, which gives him a chance of removing any of this crowd control debuffs that gets placed on him, because I might already have champions in the team who already have what do you call this one now? Cruelty is the first option, was my first option. Commanding presence was my second option, but I already have champions in that same team doing the same thing. I already have a lot of champions built with that type of blessings, so I wanted to go chain breaker with him because he should not be crowd controlled at all. It gives him a small chance of removing it. Well, at a 5-star blessing, it gives him a higher chance of removing it. For a damage dealer, he might go crushing Ren, but unfortunately, he is not a damage dealer at 5-star blessing. Check out his masteries. I don't think this champion deserves masteries at all. But every champion in raid deserves the beginner masteries. The first 3 rows, that's all they need to do their job. So for him specifically that needs accuracy, you need this accuracy coming here, you need this accuracy coming here, and you need this one. If you're super early game or you already found masteries for him, you want the full masteries, check out lhates.com. They have a mastery recommendation both for a general PvE build or just a debuffer build. For a debuffer build, he goes towards the Eagle Eye. So I'll show you my masteries. That if I wanted to put masteries on him, this is what I would recommend. You go with this offense 3, select your War Master hit, because that's the only way he contributes damage besides the bombs that you also place. And then if you wanted to go with the defense and support 3, check out L8. They will have one that talks about Eagle Eye as the best one to get to all that accuracy. If you're super early game and you don't have an accuracy banner, you don't even have an accuracy chest, this is one way to get 50 free accuracy by selecting Eagle Eye. Since it's not there for damage, why even go War Master hit, right? Alright, those are the mastery recommendations. That's the blessing I put on him. I was not going to keep farming blessing for a champion I will never use anywhere. Maybe in the future I'll think of a place to use him, but I already have a lot of other champions who can do full team cleanses. I just wanted to showcase this champion skills and tell you how we can help you in the early game, because that's all I think he's good for. Alright, let's head into dungeon content and see how much damage his bombs can do, because I did not build him for damage. But before I do, let me show you his stats, because that will determine by what he can be used for. Grunch, his stats is important to be seen. That's it. About 54k on the HP, 3800 on the defense, 280 speed is not slow. I told you I was going speed substat on every artifact, and of course perception gives you a little bit of speed percentage too when you pair them together. And check out his crit rate. Like I said, not built for damage, but he managed to crumble around and get up to 72% crit rate and 133 crit damage. Not gonna be built for damage. Don't expect anything crazy damage from him at all. I didn't build him for that content. Resistance and accuracy almost 400 plus, and that will be enough for any content where he wants to place this bomb in the end game too, right? For early game content, 200 accuracy is fine. You don't need resistance if you're an early game player at all, except you're building for faction wars where resistance can be useful against some of those faction war bosses. I don't even know if the Grunch Tribes faction boss will benefit from that anyways. All right, I'll test this champion in one content only, which is the dragon. The same way it works here is the same way it's going to work in any wave content or against any boss. I might not even fight all the way to the boss. I just want to showcase what potential he can bring to a team. And to help me showcase his abilities, I put together this early game friendly team. Let me choose them right here. I keep saying early game because I have not seen any end game player use this champion. All right, that's what I put together right here. A random team of damage dealers, frozen banshee, or MVP poisoner when you get to the boss, but useless on the wave. And check out my debuffer right here. We'll be placing decreased defense right here. So this is not a team that does crazy damage to the wave. Why did I bring this team right here? I want us to take some damage. I want us to get some debuffs. I want to see him do the cleanse. Most likely this champion will start the battle with that cleanse though. If you put it on full auto, he might just do the cleanse even when nobody has any debuffs. We'll test this out. Whether he starts the battle with the bombs, maybe, I don't know, but we'll find that out. You can also set team presets that will tell him what to start the battle with or not. All right, I'll just do one single battle, only the first wave. Let's see it on slow speed because we want to highlight his skills. He's the fastest in the team. He started the battle with the bombs. He got 3 people bombed out of 5. That's not bad rates. That will guarantee our champions about what? How many percent off? That's his A1 doing 13k. 10, 10, 10. That's 30% bomb. Well, we killed one of them. You see, all of us got meter boosted when that bomb exploded. Another bomb is about to explode. He did 14k there. Boom, we got meter boosted. So that's almost like an apothecary, a frozen banshee, because they do about what, 30% meter boost, 15% meter boost, 10%. So he's almost doing something similar to a champion like that. And that A1 block buff debuff is always landing when he uses the A1. Well, it's all based on RNG. Bombs again, how many people will get it this time around? 2 out of 3. It's a good chance. That's going to be a 20% meter boost if it explodes. So you need accuracy on this champion so you can always land the bombs and give all your allies that meter field that you just saw. There are enemies in the Doom Tower that does not like you filling up your meter, so you have to be careful where you bring this type of champion against. If you fill your meter against some enemies or some bosses in the Doom Tower, you are gonna regret it. What's his name now? That champion, that bird or something, I forget their name. Anyways, this is Grunch Killjoy, and that's what it brings to the team. He's not the one doing any damage right here. He's just facilitating the damage, helping us get our turns, placing bombs. That's it. Have I seen him use his skill? Have I seen him use the cleanse? Or he's just focusing on the bombs and the A1? I don't think I've seen him use the cleanse. I want us to take damage now so that we can see when he does the cleanse. I want debuffs on us. See, he's still here. He has not used it once. Because I want to see how many continuous heal you can place on us, basically. I want to see that skill. Because that's the other thing he brings to the team. Continuous heal. Full team cleanse. Are we so high resistant that could not debuff us? Damn, I brought in champions that have high resistance in here. I should have brought in rares. Anyways, I'm going to use the cleanse manually to see how it works. Do we have another opportunity of using it? Let me hold on one more time. Maybe somebody will get decreased attack. I'm doing manual because I really want to use that as A3 before we get to the boss. Or maybe we'll just go all the way to the boss and see whether the boss can place some poison on us. And let's see our Frozen Banshee just knock it down. He's not using that that skill when nobody has debuffs, I guess. That's pretty smart. Some epics will use their cleanse skill even when nobody has debuff, but he's not doing it. He still did not use it. He's just focusing on the bomb skill that boosts our meter. I purposely did not bring any reviver in here because I didn't think anybody would die with him being in the team. 13k hits as usual. Alright, let me go full speed now. Let's head to the boss straight and then see when we'll get some poison on us from the boss, if he can just cleanse all the poison from the boss. That's what I wanted to see now, because that's one thing that can help you survive the dragon when you cleanse all the poisons. All right, dragon, do your worst. Please don't kill the dragon. Let him poison us first. Whoa. We're looking him too hard. I don't want the stun, I want the poisons. This dragon is gonna die before we get a turn. I brought in too much poison right here from Aorta. That's the poison. Let me see the cleanse. That's it. That's it. Demonstration completed. I just wanted to see that cleanse. And he was so smart that he held on to that skill until we had debuff on us. Frozen Banshee had 3 continuous heals on her, and the other champion had 3 continuous heals on him. Is he going to cleanse this one also? Or the boss is already dead? No, he doesn't have the skill available yet. But that's a long cooldown to wait for that cleanse to come back. It's on a 4-turn cooldown. Most cleansers that we know or love to use in raid have their cleanse on a 3-turn cooldown. I can really think of Reliquary Tender, a rare champion who has a cleanse on a 3-turn cooldown. So it's not a nice way to compare with this champion who has his cleanse on a 4-turn cooldown. It's not a nice comparison, but still, Reliquary Tender's this thing is cleanse is on a 3-turn cooldown. Just to be certain, I want to check to be sure before I. Yeah, shit. This is a cleanse, right? Yeah, 3-turn cooldown. So if that's the only reason why you want to build this champion and add him to your team, remember there's a rare champion who does similar. She doesn't place a bunch of continuous heal 5, 3, 4 based on how many debuffs, but still she has a revive. So I'm not going to compare him with a rare. I just wanted to showcase what he can do for your teams. If you have no option for a cleanser and he's the only option, now you know what he can bring to your team. Is it worth taking to 60? If you have other more important champions like legendaries to take to 60, please take them to 60 first. He can come in faction wars. He can come in certain stages where you have no option but to use him. But for my own team, I don't think this champion will be seeing the light of day. I just wanted to put out this champion guide or champion spotlight to showcase where he can be used in raid and how you can make good use of his skills in some content. He's not used everywhere at all because his utility is so limited to only cleansing and turn meter boosting based on bombs and a passive. All right, that's Grunch Killjoy champion guide. Let me know if I'm misjudging this champion, if I got anything wrong. Let me know in the comments below how you use him, where you use him. I'll be willing to learn from you different builds, how he can be built differently and enjoyed. For now, I don't think he'll be seeing the light of day. I'm sending it back to the vault where he belongs in my account. And yeah, I'd love to hear your opinions about this champion in the comments below. Maybe one day he might be buffed. Maybe the book's requirement might be reduced. Remember to comment below the next champion you want me to take a look at like this, and I'll put a guide on them. And yeah, post it out on the YouTube channel later, guys. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more daily raid content.